Hello, bearded bee people. Welcome back to the B&K's Bees channel. This is kind of a reoccurring theme, but today we're going to put a nuke into a 10-frame box for another episode of Random Inspection Friday. It is not bee weather, and the bees have not been happy with me so far today, so I've got the veil on, as I probably should more often, but today certainly. Alright, now first step, move this out of the way without jostling them around too much because, like I said, the bees are not very happy today. They might be happy, they're not happy to be messed with. Alright. Place it with the 10-framer. Drop all the frames as you're supposed to do. Alright. Now we'll bring them over frame by frame. As soon as I find a hive tool. Whoops. Well, this isn't the most populated nuke of all time, but we're feeding and the goldenrod flow's going on, so I really want them to have the ability to grow out if they can. If they absolutely can't, then they might end up getting combined with another hive. But I'd really like to see them go into winter a single box tall, really strong. Alright, smoking pretty good, and let's get started. Okay, we have a little patch of brood in the center. Some younger stuff out toward the honey, but I think they're starting to slow down that kind of production. It's mid-August. I don't like to see that in a nuke, but that's my guess as to why there's not more on this frame. We'll see what everything else looks like as we go through. No queen that I saw. Or maybe she was just so busy with this frame, she had a hard time getting to the other one. Because that's a pretty good looking brood frame. Similar story. No queen that I see so far. Another pretty good looking brood frame. Kind of spotty in the center, but there are some cells with nectar in it. Pretty solid out toward the edges. Similar. No queen that I see. There are certainly eggs all throughout. Okay. Pretty decent looking brood. Not as solid as I'd like to see, but I don't see any signs of anything wrong. Once again, it's probably just a manifestation of the time of year. But I haven't seen a queen. There are, oh yep, there she is. I don't know if you guys can see it toward the bottom of the frame. She's lighter in color, which is kind of becoming a minority in this yard. All these Mary Ellen queens that we're creating are considerable amount darker. Okay. Go blank. Brood. Blank. Brood. Empty. Brood. Blank. Brood. Blank. Blank. And we're gonna have to feed this colony a considerable amount more than some of the other ones in the yard, not only because those frames were a little bit lighter than the other ones, but because they've got quite a few frames to build up before I feel comfortable sending them into winter. We are going to send a few nukes into winter for a proof of concept kind of thing, but I feel more comfortable with the single deeps, young colonies, young queens, young bees, low mite loads, proper bee to honey ratio, and you know, they just do really, really well. It's the tall, overpopulated hives with high mite loads that tend to fail early in the winter. So that's kind of the mindset we're going into this winter with. But for this particular one, they need a little bit of help between now and then. Either way, thanks for watching. Tune in next week for another episode of Random Inspection Friday. Get out and have some fun with your bees.